Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. This is kind of interesting. A member of the press contacted me on my Facebook. Actually was kind of rude. And here I'm going to show you the story. I made this Facebook post. Said, guess who I heard shot himself after saying he would never commit suicide on the radio? Does that sound fishy? Okay. And so immediately a Facebook friend says, who? And I said, one of our city council members, who was dcorrales, died this week, but it hadn't been announced how he died. They seem to be keeping that secret, cause of death. The day before he died, he posted on Facebook that he was asked to step down, and my understanding is that he was the only city council member that was against giving this motel $45 million in taxpayers' money. A local guy told me this morning he had just stated on the radio he would never commit suicide. Okay. On the day that he died, I sent him and the mayor this email below talking about the crimes and murders connected with the underground homes. Specifically, it was a proof of faked x-rays. I created a video on that showing the proof that I had. And I wrote, this went to dcorrales on the day that he died. I said, what has gone on here is extreme cruelty, evil, and inhumane. It should make a decent person sick to their stomach. And I said, this obstruction of justice needs to stop. Well, the question has been asked if he read this email and he had been obstructing justice. Did he know about the underground homes and the parties going on there? I mean, and that was the motive for suicide? I think that seems to be a fair question right there. Did he leave a suicide note? And was that the last email he wrote before he shot himself? Or was he murdered and it's covered up? We know that happens with our police and press here. With my case, right? I'm home minding my own business. Somebody under my home shoots me with my phone lines cut. And then they cut me up in pieces at the hospital, smear my name, and I have all the evidence in the world. Well, Chris Moore, and let me show you who Chris Moore is. This is not appropriate, okay? And you figured that. Here's Chris right here. That people that are hiding this, what's the truth? And this is a member of the press. I want to show you. She's a director at Town Square Media. She was a former program director on the air at 103.3 KISS. So she was a talk show radio host, right? And all this time, with all this evidence of multiple people documented saying underground homes are here, people saying that the oil show parties are here, people saying that there's multiple murders at my house, me posting all kinds of evidence about the crimes against me, horrific, terrible crimes, and not a single, news story about it. It's very obvious to me that the press is complicit, in covering up the crimes and murders connected to underground homes. Anyway, I said, what isn't appropriate is the Midland Police Department and our press covering up capital crimes such as the home invasion and premeditated murder attempt on my life that was followed up by doctors faking x-rays and then crippling me for life, or the 4 murder deaths that Aaron Packover said happened here before they cut my phone lines and shot me. Keep in mind, I'm telling a member of the press this. Furthermore, it seems important and newsworthy that I contacted dcorrales with facts about these sick and inhumane crimes on the day that he committed suicide, was murdered, or died. And Derek Smith told me this morning, he was on KWEL just last week after the vote on the hotel, that he wanted to make it publicly known that he was not at all suicidal in any way. That was a quote from Derek. I said, you work in the news industry, right? How come you haven't reported about the multiple people documented saying that there's secret underground homes in Midland where the oil show parties were held? Did you know that one of the people documented was a guy running for Midland Sheriff? Or there's a map showing that one of the homes is in my backyard? It's highly inappropriate to hide the facts and evidence from the public. This is about the safety of the public. And I put a screenshot in of the email that I had sent, okay? Proof of faked x-rays. I went to the mayor, dcorrales, and a couple of other members of the city council. This has nothing to do with what happened to you. Dan and his family deserve peace during this time. And Kim Torr says, I agree, I'm with her, Oh, let's keep it secret what happened, And I said, Chris Moore, what happened to me might just have everything to do with this alleged suicide. As I already showed you, I sent Councilman Dan Corrales an email on the day his alleged suicide that said, 12 years ago yesterday, I was ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut and burglar alarms go off the attic. This isn't a theory, but a fact with a lot of evidence backing it up. And 12 years ago today, doctors of the hospital took the x-rays of some other guy that was shot with a shotgun and put my name on him. This was done because the police were falsely claiming that I'd shot myself with a shotgun when that isn't what happened. As seen in the faked x-rays, the other guy was missing his heel bone, so they took me into surgery, cut my heel bone off. Let that sink in. I was crippled for life on purpose by doctors, and I was the guy that was reporting crimes to the police. A nurse told me that she knew who was shot 11 days before me. And then they charged the insurance company for faked x-rays. This irrefutable evidence has been provided to then Attorney General Greg Abbott, who's now governor, Texas Medical Board, the Texas Rangers, the FBI, and DHS, and now you, a member of the press, and the mayor and city council. This obstruction of justice needs to stop. Back in 2012, I didn't have proof showing that I wasn't shot with my gun, or proof of over 50 other homeowners reported people in the attic, or multiple people documented saying that tunnels, underground homes are here, along with the map, but I do now. What has gone on here is extreme cruelty, evil, and inhumane. It should make a decent person sick to their stomach. That's what Dan Corrales must have read before he committed suicide. And so the obvious question is, did he know about the underground homes? And was that why he committed suicide? I said, in light of this evidence, we should be asking if Councilman Corrales knew about the secret underground homes and he was connected with the obstruction of justice. How about you? Did you know where there were secret underground homes in Midland? If you did, have you been hiding this news from the public? I asked her point blank, and I put in this print screen right here showing the map, showing where one of the underground homes in my backyard. Tisha Brumley saying her sister used to go to those show parties, and they were in the underground homes. Okay. Chris replies here, and says, here, let me show you. I stand by what I said. It's all about honoring those that are grieving. There's a time and place for everything. This is not the time. So she didn't answer the question. Notice that. And I said, you didn't answer the question. Did you know that there were underground homes in Midland? If you did, have you been hiding this news from the public? She's a member of the press. Could that be the real reason that you tried to silence me on my own Facebook page today? Okay. And Chris again says, you have told me this story numerous times. My prayers remain for Dan Corrales' family and friends. And I say my prayers that the friends and family of Dan Corrales are told the whole truth and not given a bullshit story about his death, especially if he knew about the underground homes and was obstructing justice in the crimes and murders connected with them. And that still leaves the question, did you know about the secret underground homes in Midland? I asked her again. Okay. And here, let's go on again. And I never got an answer for it, Never got an answer from the press. And the obvious thing here is on the bottom. Sheila Perkins says, Shelley Perkins says, I see that she will never answer because she knows they will come for her job, or even worse, because they are government funded. And I wrote and I said, yes, I personally know how dangerous it is to tell the truth about the crimes happening here. And I understand, and maybe she has a boss. Maybe she's been threatened. You need to cover up these underground homes and the many murders and crimes connected with them, or, you lose your job, or we threaten your life, or maybe you commit suicide. I don't know. There are a lot of unanswered questions in Midland, but everything seems to go back to them underground homes. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas, member of a Press Talks.